This is known as a deadlift. The muscles that are involved are the quadricep, hamstrings, gluteus maximus, and the erector spinae. The general movement of this exercise is lifting the barbell up to your waist and lowering it down while engaging the core the whole time. The common newbie mistakes is not bracing our core, which leads to our erector spinae being bent. This could obviously really hurt your back, as you saw towards the end of that movement. This movement is similar to squats, but it can increase our core strength as we have to brace it a lot more, which will improve our posture as our back is highly involved, and stability as many more muscles are worked. We use such muscles that are involved in this workout for walking, jumping, and as simple as staying upright. The gluteus maximus, erector spinae, hamstring, and the quadriceps are doing the concentric pulling of the bar. Once again, the gluteus maximus, erector spinae, hamstring, and the quadriceps also do the eccentric when lowering the bar. The quadriceps insert at the tibia. The hamstrings insert at the medial tibial condyle posterior of knee. The gluteus maximus inserts into the iliotibial tract and gluteal tuberosity of femur, medial of glute. The insertion of the erector spinae is in the spinous process and cervical vertebrae. The quadriceps originate at the upper part of the pelvis, hip bone, and femur. The hamstrings origin at the ischial tuberosity posterior of pelvis. The gluteus maximus originates also in a similar place, which is the posterior surface of the sacrum, coccyx, and the gluteal surface of ilium, top of hamstring. The erector spinae originates in the spinous process. The muscles involved in bench press are the anterior deltoid, triceps brachii, and pectoral muscles. The general movement of this exercise is you're laying down on your back while you press the weight up towards the ceiling and then lower it down. During the concentric, the anterior deltoid, pectorals, and triceps brachii are used to lift the weight. Also, when lowering the weight, they're used during the concentric. The common newbie mistakes of this exercise is when we press the weight upwards towards the ceiling, we go past our eye line while also taking your shoulders off the bench. This could lead. It's important to bench for overall upper body strength and muscle endurance. We use muscles that are involved in this workout as simple as lifting a pencil, holding a backpack during football or hockey, also the stability to stay upright. The deltoid inserts in the deltoid tuberosity of humerus. The triceps brachii inserts in the olecranon of ulna and fasciae of forearm. The pectoral muscle inserts in the crest of the greater tubercle of humerus. The deltoid originates in the lateral 1/3 of the clavicle. The triceps brachii inserts into 3 different parts. The long head inserts in the infraguinal tubercle of the scapula. The medial head inserts into the posterior surface of the humerus, and the lateral head inserts into the posterior surface of the humerus. For the pectoral muscle, the clavicular part originates on the anterior surface of the medial half of clavicle. The sternocostal part originates on the anterior surface of the sternum. The abdominal part originates on the anterior layer of rectus sheath. Yes, I'm just as surprised as you. It traces down all the way to your abdominal. This next movement is a squat. The muscles that are involved are the quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteus maximus, calves, and abductors. The general movement of this exercise is lowering the body so your legs are in a 90-degree angle and then press up to a full upright position. The common newbie mistakes are that they don't engage their core, which leads to a rounded back. You will still get the same contraction or stretch in the muscle, but the injury risk is a lot higher. not hitting full depth, which is 90 degrees, all the muscles mentioned in above will not be as fully engaged, so you will miss out on contraction or the stretch of the muscles. Locking these at the top can lead to injury on the ligaments in the area. We use every muscle that is involved in this movement to walk. We also use these muscles to do athletic abilities that were mentioned in the deadlift. The quadriceps, hamstrings, abductors, and gluteus maximus are involved in the eccentric contraction when squatting the weight downwards. The quadriceps, hamstrings, abductors, gluteus maximus, and calves are involved in the concentric contraction when the weight is being pressed or pushed up. The insertion of each muscle in the squat is fairly similar to the deadlift. The quadriceps insert at the tibia, the hamstrings insert at the medial tibia condyle, posterior of knee. Gluteus maximus inserts into the iliotibial tract and gluteal teres of femur. The calves, the gastrocnemius muscle, inserts at the Achilles tendon, and the abductors insert in the femur and tibia, which is the inner thigh. The quadriceps originate at the upper part of the pelvis, hip bone, and femur. The hamstrings originate at the ischial tuberosity. The gluteus maximus originates at the later posterior surface of the sacrum and the coccyx and the gluteal surface of ilium. This also inserts in the same area, which is the top of the hamstrings. The calves originate proximal to the articular surfaces of the lateral condyle of femur, medial condyle of femur also. This is the back of the knee. The abductors originate at the pubis, which is the pelvic area. The muscles that are involved in this workout are the quadriceps and hamstrings. The general movement of this exercise is pushing upwards towards the ceiling with your shin as it is pressing against the machine. The common mistakes that newbies make are using too much momentum and taking their butt off the seat, which leads to less activation in the quadriceps. This workout is super valuable as it is important to isolate your quads, but most importantly, they actually use it for rehab. They use it for rehab to strengthen the knee joint as it's getting back into its hinging motion. We use this muscle for jumping, walking, lunging, and kicking. And during the workout, the quadriceps do the concentric, lowering the weight, while the hamstrings do the eccentric when the weight is lifted upwards. Movement, hamstring curls. The quadriceps and the hamstrings are involved. We curl the weight upwards with our legs while we lie flat on our belly. The common newbie mistakes is once again we're using too much momentum, which causes our quads to leave the bench that we lay on. This workout is super valuable to everyone as it helps us walk and do physical activities like soccer. It can also help your body posture as it's connected to your back. In this movement, the hamstrings are doing the concentric and the quads are doing the eccentric.